In 2025, if Donald Trump returns to power, travel across America and the world could look very different. With border security, airline regulations, and immigration at the center of his political agenda, Trump's 15 proposed travel rules could reshape how Americans move, fly, and live. Some of these rules are already being discussed by his advisors and conservative lawmakers. Whether you're planning a cross-country road trip or a vacation abroad, these policies could impact your freedom of movement, your privacy, and even your wallet. So what's really going on? Are these rules about keeping America safe or controlling the movement of its people? And how will they affect you, your family, and your future travel plans? In this video, we'll break down each of Trump's 15 new travel rules, explain what they mean, and show you why Rule 6 is the one everyone's talking about. Buckle up because travel in 2025 may never be the same again. Let's get started. Number 1. Mandatory biometric ID for all travelers. Under Trump's new travel rules, both domestic and international travelers could be required to use a biometric national ID system. This system would include fingerprint scans, facial recognition, and possibly iris scans at airports, bus stations, and even random highway checkpoints. Officials say it will strengthen national security and streamline identity verification. However, critics argue it represents a dangerous expansion of government surveillance, raising concerns about data privacy, misuse of information, and the erosion of basic freedom of movement for all Americans. Number 2. Border security expansion with Trump plans to expand not just border walls, but also expanding internal border patrol checkpoints across the U.S., which could stretch up to 100 miles inside U.S. territory. At these checkpoints, travelers could be stopped and asked to prove their citizenship or immigration status. Even if they're traveling entirely within the country, critics warn this could lead to racial profiling, erosion of constitutional protections, and the normalization of checkpoints inside a free nation. Supporters say it's necessary to enforce immigration laws and stop illegal movement. Number 3. Strict visa vetting for all foreign visitors. Trump's 2025 travel policy includes significantly stricter visa vetting procedures for all foreign visitors. Under the new rules, applicants must undergo a comprehensive 30-point screening checklist, covering everything from social media activity to political beliefs and associations. The goal is to block entry to individuals deemed potential ideological threats, even without criminal records. This will likely result in longer wait times, higher rejection rates, and greater scrutiny of personal backgrounds, raising concerns over privacy, discrimination, and international relations. Number 4. Travel restrictions for certain countries. In 2025, Trump may reinstate and expand his controversial travel ban, targeting additional countries based on geopolitical tensions, national security concerns, and religious affiliations. This revised ban could affect entire populations, preventing citizens from specific nations from entering the U.S., even if they have no criminal background or history of wrongdoing. Critics argue the policy unfairly discriminates based on nationality and religion, while supporters claim it protects American interests. The move is expected to strain diplomatic relations and spark legal challenges. Number 5. Real ID enforcement nationwide. Under Trump's 2025 travel policies, full enforcement of the long-delayed Real ID Act is expected. This means all U.S. citizens must upgrade to a Real ID-compliant driver's license or identification card to board domestic flights. Standard state-issued IDs will no longer be accepted at airport security checkpoints. Those without a Real ID will be denied boarding, even for travel within U.S. borders. The move aims to enhance national security, but critics warn it could disrupt travel for millions unprepared for the change. Number 6. Mandatory airline passenger screening via AI. Under Trump's updated aviation security plans, artificial intelligence will play a central role in passenger profiling. These systems will analyze a traveler's purchase history, flight patterns, online activity, and even social media posts to assess potential risks. If the AI flags certain behaviors or associations, the traveler could face enhanced security screening, delays, or even be denied boarding without explanation or appeal. While supporters claim this technology improves safety and efficiency, critics warn it opens the door to algorithmic bias, privacy violations, and unjustified travel restrictions based on flawed or misinterpreted data. Number 7. Nationwide no-fly list expansion. Trump's administration could dramatically expand the federal no-fly list, extending beyond suspected terrorists to include individuals labeled as disruptive, politically extreme, or anti-government. This could mean that protesters, activists, or even outspoken critics of the administration might be silently banned from flying without formal charges or due process. Supporters argue it's a tool to maintain order and security. However, civil liberties groups warn it could be weaponized to silence dissent, leading to serious abuses of power and constitutional violations. Number 8. Border Wall 2.0 with drone surveillance. Trump's renewed border security agenda includes not only completing the southern border wall, but upgrading it with AI-powered drone surveillance operating 24/7. These drones would monitor movement across land, sea, and air, feeding real-time data to federal agencies. Additionally, all border crossings could be equipped with digital biometric scanning systems to track every individual entering or leaving the country. Supporters hail it as a high-tech security breakthrough, while critics argue it marks a shift toward militarized borders and mass surveillance. Number 9. Travel privileges linked to tax compliance. Trump's advisors have proposed linking travel privileges to tax compliance, meaning U.S. citizens who owe significant back taxes could face restricted travel, especially international. Under this plan, individuals with unpaid IRS debts may be required to obtain special government clearance or permits before leaving the country. Supporters argue it incentivizes tax accountability and prevents wealthy evaders from fleeing. Critics warn it could unfairly punish low- and middle-income Americans, turning travel into a privilege only for the financially secure rather than a basic right. Number 10. Deportation flights increase. Trump's immigration agenda includes a major expansion of deportation operations, with a sharp rise in chartered deportation flights for undocumented immigrants. His administration plans to fast-track immigration court proceedings, limit legal defenses, and shorten appeal windows, making removals quicker and harder to contest. Mass deportations could resume on a larger scale, with private contractors possibly overseeing flight logistics. Supporters argue it's about restoring law and order, while critics warn of due process violations, family separations, and increased risk of wrongful deportations. Number 11. International travel tax proposal. Trump's team is reportedly considering an international departure tax, which would require U.S. citizens to pay an additional fee every time they fly abroad. The proposed tax would help fund border security, immigration enforcement, and veteran assistance programs. Supporters argue it's a patriotic contribution to national priorities. However, critics see it as a travel penalty that could burden families, students, and business travelers. If implemented, this tax could make international travel more expensive, effectively limiting global mobility for middle and lower-income Americans. Number 12. Ban on travel subsidies for sanctuary states. Trump's proposed policies may include a ban on federal travel subsidies and infrastructure funding for so-called sanctuary states, those that refuse to fully cooperate with federal immigration authorities. This could mean pulling support for airport expansions, public transit systems, and regional flights, particularly in major cities like New York, San Francisco, and Chicago. The result? Reduced travel options, longer commutes, and fewer transportation upgrades. Critics argue it's political punishment, using travel infrastructure as leverage against states that protect undocumented immigrants. Number 13. Facial recognition at all ports of entry. Trump's plan mandates facial recognition scans at all U.S. airports, seaports, and land crossings. Every international visitor, and even returning U.S. citizens, would be required to undergo biometric facial scans upon arrival. The scans would be instantly cross-checked with federal watch lists and immigration databases. Supporters argue it enhances border security and speeds up processing. However, critics warn of privacy concerns, data misuse, and the creation of a permanent government database of travelers' faces without meaningful consent. Number 14. Revoked passports for dual citizens with hostile ties. Trump's proposed travel policy could allow the government to revoke U.S. passports from dual citizens who have ties to countries deemed hostile or adversarial, such as Iran, China, or Russia. The decision would be based on classified intelligence, with little to no transparency or right to appeal. Critics argue this undermines due process and citizenship rights, potentially punishing individuals based solely on ancestry or association. Supporters claim it's a necessary measure to protect national security from internal threats. Number 15. Emergency powers to shut down travel. A new executive authority under consideration would allow the president to temporarily halt domestic or international travel during national emergencies. This authority would cover situations such as terrorist threats, infectious disease outbreaks, or widespread civil unrest and protests. Supporters argue that such powers are essential for maintaining national security, public health, and order during critical moments. However, civil rights advocates warn that without clear limitations and oversight, this authority could be misused to suppress freedoms, restrict movement, or disproportionately affect certain populations or regions. So there you have it. Trump's 15 new travel rules will change everything in 2025. These new travel rules are more than just policy updates. They signal a massive shift in how Americans may experience mobility, safety, and even freedom in the coming year. From emergency powers to lock down all travel, to controversial restrictions tied to protests and national security, these rules could redefine the balance between government control and personal liberty. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the latest updates. Thanks for watching.